This is exciting. Even though I've spent a lot of time in Southeast Alaska, every trip here brings high anticipation.
Hey, Jim, old buddy, old pal. They told us we gotta take the ferry because it's blowing too hard today.
This trip, I'm with my good friend, Jim Baichtal. You've seen Jim on a lot of our episodes. He's one of the most knowledgeable people I know, and he shares his knowledge generously. My first trip to Southeast Alaska was 1977. Yep, I was 12 years old. A very formative time to my young imagination. No matter where I hunt, my mind wanders, imagining how these lands and waters were hunted sustainably for millennia by indigenous people who still live and hunt here today. These landscapes have been impacted by the hand of man, though far less than most of the places that I travel. Though today is a much different time and a much different world, I'm convinced that we can learn a lot, that I can learn a lot from those folks who hunted here as a matter of survival. You more than me have spent rainy, windy, nasty, uncomfortable days out in these rock piles more than I have. So I call you, I'm like, hey Jim, there's this group called Lindell Boats that makes these really cool boats, and they're offering their boat to us for our bear hunt. What do you think?
I think I was doing backflips at that point. So logistic-wise, I had tried to think about where was I going to put a camp, how was I going to get that? I was going to get 50-gallon drums of fuel to take down because we're going to be, just using that little smaller boat that I had. And how are we going to do this? Stay dry, because it's going to rain, be 40 degrees, and it's buggy as heck. And I was firewood and all that kind of stuff. So I had a big list going down. And you called and just solved that entire thing.
I didn't solve it. That came out of the blue. I want to say I feel guilty about that, but every once in a while, the something great lands in your lap.
So the big estuary is right off the head of this island.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah. So Jim, when we're hunting these southeast islands for bears, it hasn't always been the brightest of stories.
Yeah, I think they started their records in the 70s, and there was about, and whether they were accurate or not, there was like 25 or 30 bears a year shot off in the 70s. But the total harvest in 2005 came very close to 500 bears coming off.
Whoa.
Every year.
So it was going from 20, 40, 50 for a long time to almost 500?
Yeah, 492 was their records.
Wow.
And we also think there was an awful lot of wounding loss.
Big bear. Way in the back there. He was not there before.
Oh yeah, it wasn't there.
I can see him walking.
That's a huge bear.
Yeah.
We want to go right back over here. We're going to get closer.
Oh, he says we're going to get closer. Muzzle loader close.
Well, not that close.
When you have numbers that drop like that, Jim, does it change the boar to sow ratio? Probably changes the age class, probably changes a lot of things where Game and Fish had to say, we got to set some new targets here.
Yeah, so they're managing for 3 males to every female.
Whoa.
And a skull size of 19 inches.
In a year-round harvest, or because we have the spring season
of the
and
spring
fall
harvest.
season.
The spring harvest, so 70-some-odd% of the bears get taken in the spring. And so that's a high bar to set.
Yeah. This is the first bear we saw. And he's a really nice bear. He's big, has no rubs. Man. All right, I say we get to this next clump here, then we make a plan from there. Right there, that's how you can tell a boar. He's looking at us and his front legs are way outside. And he's got a head about that wide. And his ears are little buttons right over his ear. I gotta shoot that thing, folks. I am sorry that I might shoot the first bear of the trip. I was watching him roll these rocks at the low tide line, and he said he's eating
Little crabs and the sand fleas.
So he was completely undisturbed. What we're gonna do, we're gonna get right over here. And if he keeps going up that way, we might just go straight at him. Because if we get too far up in this bay, we're gonna get a swirl with the wind. And that will be the end of it. He's 280, but just wish we could get, got a perfect wind, but we can't get across this sloppy mud flat. He's gonna hear all this kelp popping. He's gonna hear our feet doing all that slurping and slopping. Oh, and then we're gonna try it. We got 5 days on. He started coming towards us. It's like, uh-oh, I better get ready. I think he saw me or heard me when I started taking my pack off. He just turned and walked up into the trees.
Yep. He didn't run off.
No.
He just...
Never to be seen again.
Never to be seen again. He never came back out.
No, so we went back and...
He's down there right now dancing a jig because we're not pestering him.
No, we're not pestering him. That was cool. Well, there's the old theory.
Huh?
There's the old theory. If you're going to screw it up on a big one. We went back to the boat and you cooked bison backstraps.
That's right. That was not bad.
Not bad? I'd say that was like really, really good. And that kind of fueled the tank for the next day. Are we ready? Because we got up the next morning and I was convinced that bear was going to be out in that estuary that morning.
So many times they're right underneath those bushes on the sides. The rock bear's still out.
Yeah, I know that black rock hasn't moved since yesterday. Can you believe that?
You know, we could go put a sneak on that.
Probably get really close.
Go get some awesome footage of them.
Yeah, Jace. You ever see bears swimming, Jim?
I have.
Have you?
Between islands?
Yeah.
Not frequently, but one every couple of years. I've
Yeah.
seen wolves swimming between islands.
Huh.
A lot of deer swimming between islands.
Yeah, we watched some swim between islands. So you were the geologist here on the Tongass.
I covered everything from Yakutat down to Ketchikan, not the mineral side of the things, but landslide, slope stability, and the Karsten cave resources, that there are thousands of caves here on the island. When exploring those caves and mapping those caves and finding the bone deposits and stuff in there, and now being able to take those bones and do paleogenetics on there, where we can kind of understand how these bears have changed through time, or when the caribou disappeared, or and all those different aspects. I think we've cataloged 57,000 bones out of like 25 different caves, but mainly off of Prince of Wales and the surrounding islands.
We're going 8 knots and the motor's off.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
They give you a run for your money in a kayak.
That'd be that Drano thing. Run for your money? I'm going with I would bet on the tide instead of the dude in the kayak.
And that's only about a half flow of what it can do.
Wow.
We'll go back here. I'm sure they're back up here sunning themselves on the beach playing cards. Bears are going to be on lawn chairs. They got little drinks with umbrellas in them.
There you go. Pina coladas. We saw 4 bears that day.
Yep.
I went and stalked one of them. He's looking off to his left. And if we went in, beached here and went around. I thought that this bear was dead. He's on the beach and the wind is coming this way, but he's tucked in a little cove. We glassed a bear. He's feeding up here, maybe 250 yards from right here. We're gonna go around this corner. Hopefully the wind stays in our favor. We got off the main bay. The wind was blowing right in here. As quick as we round the corner, it's like the wind split and I could see it going into that cove where he is. I'm like, when we get over that rock, he's not gonna be there. And then we went around.
Like 15 minutes later, there's that other bear down the beach.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell from here, but that looks like a nice bear. Size-wise, just relationship.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can motor to that rock.
Yeah.
And not get busted first.
Yeah. Yeah, we just tried to stalk a bear over here, but the wind, once we got around the corner, the wind was bad. Now we got a bear over here in pretty much a similar situation, but we got enough of the bay that we can go way around him and come in from way downwind. It's gonna be a bit of a hike. Hopefully he doesn't see us while we're motoring here.
Close combat, huh?
Yeah. We'll try our best, Jim.
This is killing me.
I know. Feel bad.
Don't worry about pushing me out. I got it.
Okay. All right.
Okay, keep him out of trouble.
We're gonna cut right through here.
Go get him. Boom. Put a bayonet on there, because when you come up on him, you're going to be at 5 yards.
So Jason and I are going, and we got a perfect wind, and I'm ranging where he was. We're under 100 yards at this point. I'm like, either he's not here, or this is going to happen really fast. All right. Gotta go around this bay. He's going to be like really close when we get there. Drop down, get my binos, and I range it, and I come up with 38 yards. He ran, so I knew he'd smelled us. That's the hard part right now. The bears we're finding. Look how tight this little pocket is. And right out here, you got a perfect wind coming out of the west. That little point right there cuts that wind, and it creates a little swirl in here.
So?
He was closer than hawking range.
So is he down?
No. Any closer and you'd have to shoot him in self-defense.
Well, he could have got closer.
But when you look at him through your binoculars at 38 yards, you don't need him to get any closer. He was really a nice shiny bear. I can't tell you how big he was, but lengthwise, from his rump to where his neck went down, he's a mature bear for sure. You were the geologist here on the Tongass.
I covered everything from Yakutat down to Ketchikan, not the mineral side of the things, but landslide, slope stability, and the Karsten cave resources, that there are thousands of caves here on the island. And part of that was then working with, when exploring those caves and mapping those caves and finding the bone deposits and stuff in there, and now being able to take those bones and do paleogenetics on there, where we can kind of understand how these bears have changed through time, or when the caribou disappeared, or I think we've cataloged 57,000 bones out of like 25 different caves or something like that.
It is here on the island?
Throughout all of Southeast,
Okay.
but mainly off of Prince of Wales and the surrounding islands. How deep of water are we, Randy?
17. I think I'm gonna stay with the boat, Jim.
Okay.
I love this raft. Look at that.
There's a bunch of carbonate springs and mounds and stuff in there, and it's really fascinating because the ocean and the creek and everything degasses carbon dioxide and it's built these carbonate mounds. It's kind of like a little Yellowstone without the heat. And this is an old mound. Totally eroding. Big mound of that stuff. Look at the one in front of you spitting. It's like Yellowstone that's not hot. The log that's embedded in that mound, that could be 10, 15,000 years old. We don't know. And watch this one. This one builds up steam and then it'll shoot out like 4 or 5 feet.
Day 2 was fun. We did 2 stocks, didn't get any real footage of anything, but.
The other thing too was learning how to get around in those islands and where we could boat and where we absolutely couldn't boat.
Right.
So
then that evening we went back and I asked if you'd drop me off so I could go sit in that estuary where we saw that big bear the first night. Jim dropped us off here. He went back to the big boat. We're gonna go up here to where that bear first came out last night. We've got a wind coming right in our face. We're gonna set up in some trees there and just watch all of this. About the only thing that I accomplished there was proving to the world that I am an attractant to no-see-ums.
you know, I really love it that you give of yourself to feed those no-see-ums. They're just out there trying to do their best to earn a living, and you step right up to the plate.
Well, Jim's gonna meet us on a point over here about, I don't know, half a mile away. I don't see no bears. Here we go, folks. See if I can plop in the drink here with my uniform on. And then you look at each other like, should we pull him out?
Push him down again. I didn't get good footage.
Yeah, Jace will say, he looks like he's wore out. Better grab him. We need to make payroll next week. He said, let's pull anchor on all this stuff and let's head down to that country where I did that stock and got within 40 yards because you knew of some country there that you thought was really buried.
And I knew that really nice little bight that we could go anchor in and be not out of the wind, but at least mostly out of the wind. And
Yeah.
we knew we had like 2.5 days of pretty stiff breeze coming up. Oh yeah,
Bear in it.
that is a good bear.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that is a good bear. Keep your eye on him.
You ready, Jace? We're gonna go get him.
Oh yeah.
Nice bear. He's back in another one of these damn coves or the wind swirls. We might actually try to find a trail through these trees. Get behind that point and cross. I hate to bushwhack, but I'm afraid if we try to go straight at him, he's gonna see us. Right under some lambs, and he took a couple steps and walked up in there. I peek up and I can just see him again under the trees there, and he walked off. Wasn't scared, wasn't nothing. And so when we came back,
Going back for a nap.
Yeah. Do you think that's what he's doing? Go back in there to sleep for the day? Yeah. Well,
He was preparing himself to come see you later,
well,
which he shouldn't have done.
Just feeding over here, about 220 yards, right on the edge of the timber. The wind is coming right to us, and he just walked into the timber. I can't see him now. This is a really good looking spot. There's bear tracks out here in the mud. I'd prefer to just let him be. Just bust these shorelines. Dang it. That was a really pretty bear. That was a good one. So your suggestion was, let's go back to the big boat. Let's get some lunch, and we'll come back in the evening. I'll drop you guys off, and you'll get them. About 6 o'clock, looking at the tide chart, all right. Low tide at 7:45 or something. Jason and I followed that same path. They've been out here digging and eating. We're sitting there underneath, kind of like some tall limbs, just giving us shade because otherwise the sun is beating on us. And I'm looking and glassing and all those black rocks and black stumps. Every time you look at them, you think it's a bear. So after about an hour of glassing, I kind of knew where every stump and every rock was. And there's a new rock there. I'm like, what? Put my binos up. I'm like, jeez, over here. There he is. finally I'm getting impatient. I told Jace, I said, you know what, as quick as that sun goes behind that mountain, if he's still out there, I'm sneaking up there and I'm gonna shoot him. And he must have said, well, let me save you the effort.
I'll just come your way.
Yeah. And I'd never seen a bear lay on his side and eat. Is that?
That's a thing. They
Really?
do that.
I'd never seen that. You're kidding me, right? Right now, I got the crosshairs right on his chest. Like dead center. He's dead if he stands up. Depends on what angle he gives me. You ready?
Yeah, whenever you're ready, come on.
He may back down. Then he starts coming a little closer, lays down, eats some more. And now I'm ranging him, I'm like 200 yards, plus or minus, or a couple of yards. I've never seen anything like this before. Crazy. He will not stand up. He just lays there. And I told Jace, get ready, because if he turns broadside, I feel really good about this shot.
He's down.
Huh?
He just went down.
He went down?
He went down right after the roll. But keep an eye on him just in case he does want to go. He fell below that last little rise before the tree.
I'm gonna go make sure he's there, because you don't want to chase a black bear in Alaska in the brush. And if he needs a finishing shot, I'm gonna give it to him. Yeah. Look at the head on that thing. Oh, thank you. That's the longest I've ever waited on a bear. I think that's the longest I've ever waited on any animal I've ever shot. Holy cow. He's got some bad dentures on the front there. I've seen worse. Actually not too bad, just these ones down here. Oh, thank you, buddy. crazy. What a beautiful, beautiful animal. Thank you, mister. Thank you. Man, that's a beautiful bear. I'll never shoot a bear with that quality of hide ever again. It's
And it ended up with over a 20-inch skull. That's a big adult bear.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
What you come for?
Thanks so much. Really appreciate it, Frank.
Yeah.
Jace, as always.
We hang the bear up the next morning.
Yeah, we go hang that, and the idea is that we're gonna go putz around and.
But it was really windy, so we were late in getting out there.
Yeah. Straight ahead. To the right of that,
Got it.
There's a big dead snag there.
And so we landed on there, you waited at the boat, and Jason and I walked up around the corner. And I said, God, I wonder if there's anything in there back where Randy's was. And we went around the corner and was like, oh my gosh. Oh, there he is. Let's go over here so we can look back in the back of the bay too while we're just sitting here glassing. The big old rubbed boar. That's a giant bear. The tank was out there feeding. He's a big bear. I might go back and get Randy and I'll just trade places with him for a minute just so he can see this thing. That's cool. Yep, says there's a giant one out here. Wow. He's in the exact same spot I shot mine. Why doesn't he want to come kill it, I wonder? That's a good question. Yeah, I compared this one is way smaller than that one. This is cool. So cool to see that age class coming back. Yeah. So that management strategy they're working on, that's what we lost. Yeah. And there was years you saw bears like that. Yeah. You never saw these guys. It's just, he's a big one. It's just fun to see that. If you were to come back here tomorrow, I'd just dump you guys off and go back and wait. If I'd have had one more hour of daylight, I'd have figured out how to get down, clear in the timber. I'd had to go clear in the timber in the back again and belly crawl down that creek. Yeah. So if I'd have come down the creek, I'd have had the wind in my face and I could have got to like 35 yards from him out because he was way this side of that creek. Yeah. The Hawken's getting loaded in the morning.
Oh, Jim says he's gonna load his Hawken in the morning. If I would have handed you my Howa and you wouldn't have been so dedicated to your hawking. You could have walked around there and you had about a 150-yard shot.
No. We've been through this discussion a lot of
times.
times.
I know better than try to tempt you because it's
So
not
we
even
had
a
it. We had it.
temptation.
It was going to be fine. He was going to be out there at 10:30 to 11 the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's that little back corner is his. I'm going to get behind my backpack, lay the muzzle load over there, and lay there and wait. Make a presence out there and see how it works. Shake the dice. $270 grains. Doesn't go off half cocked. Let's go get this done. See the claw marks where a bear stepped on that leaf. It's kind of cool. That's horrible. I think I'll go lay behind the creek bank out here. Okay.
So when we got to this spot, Jim, he went down into the grass where that bear was feeding yesterday so he'd be in a good ambush location if that bear did feed back out where it was last night. Been sitting here for a while now. It's about 10:30, which we've been seeing a lot of the bears during the day, or that 11 o'clock hour. And it looks like there's a bear that just popped up there, and it looks like the one that we saw last night, right before we saw the big one here.
You saw one down there?
Yeah, it looked like that same bear from last night.
Right along the trees?
Yeah.
We had the perfect setup. The only thing was the bear didn't come out. And I couldn't see the other one. Jay saw it around the corner. I would have had a hard time getting within 100 yards of that where it was feeding. That would have been really a challenge. If I went over here, I might have to sneak down and get back over there if a bear came out.
We're gonna sit here till dark and hope that bear shows up just like he did yesterday. We saw that bear in here yesterday at 8 p.m. If he's back again, Jim's back up in his spot, and from where he's at, he can pretty much shoot any bear that comes out.
By this time, they were both well out last night. Nobody's home. Well, I think you ought to text Dr. Newberg and tell him to come pick us up. We had them surrounded. They just didn't come out.
Huh, they forgot to surrender tonight. right, go get them.
The next morning, we tried to set up where we had the one that kept appearing along that shoreline by those logs.
All right.
All right. Just wrong. There was piles of bear poop he'd been eating in there for days. He just didn't come back that day.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to play. Well, like Mr. Newberg, tell him we need him. Take me home. It's all right, they're still there. And they're going to be a year older next year.
No, you can go get them.
I can go sleep on the beach under a tarp
in the rain.
in the rain.
Yeah, you can do that.
Well, he's still out there.
You just
Just not
didn't come
in
by
here.
to say hi.
He's just not in here.
Well, this trip has been one for the ages. Such an amazing setting, such an amazing place. Get to meet new people, make new friends like Frank. I got to explore an island where I've never hunted bears before. And it all came together as though it was a gift. The gift of a remarkable bear that will come home with me. That seems to be more than I deserve, but I'll take it. Like every trip to Southeast Alaska, I leave here with even more appreciation for those who live on these landscapes and do so sustainably. They get their food in a way that most Americans will never understand. I hope that folks who see these stories unfold on this incredible landscape come to share my love for this place and will advocate for its conservation. The animals, the humans, and the cultures that exist here depend upon our understanding and our advocacy.